Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Newshour, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 1 hour. US President Trump conveys birthday wishes to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, says he is doing a tremendous job. Prime Minister Modi thanks Trump, says fully commitment to taking India-US comprehensive and global partnership to new heights. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch several key projects in Madhya Pradesh's Dhar, also to launch health outreach campaigns for women and children in the country. Britain's rolls out royal red carpet as US President Trump arrives in London on an unprecedented second state visit. Several deals on technology and civil nuclear energy on the agenda. Nepal observes National Day of Mourning in memory of all the Gen Z protesters killed during the demonstrations last week. India's Neeraj Chopra set to begin his title defense in the men's javelin throw qualifiers at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo on Wednesday. In yet another moment of bonhomie between the two leaders, Prime Minister Narendra Modi received a phone call from US President Donald Trump for wishes on his birthday eve as he turns 75 today. In a post on social media platform X, Prime Minister Modi thanked Trump and referred to the trade deal talks that resumed just hours earlier on Tuesday. He said, and I quote, "Thank you, my friend President Trump, for your phone call and warm greetings on my 75th birthday. Like you, I'm also fully committed to taking the India-US comprehensive and global partnership to new heights. We support your initiative towards a peaceful resolution of the Ukraine conflict." Trump later made a similar post on Truth Social. He said, and I quote, "Just had a wonderful phone call with my friend Prime Minister Narendra Modi. I wished him a very happy birthday. He is doing a tremendous job. Narendra, thank you for your support on ending the war between Russia and Ukraine." Earlier on Tuesday, Indian and the US officials held discussions on trade ties, including on the India-US bilateral trade agreement. The US team of officials led by US Trade Representative for South Asia, Brendan Lynch, held discussions with officials from Department of Commerce led by Special Secretary. Acknowledging the enduring importance of bilateral trade between India and the US, an official statement by India said that the discussions were positive and forward-looking, covering various aspects of the trade deal. It was decided to intensify efforts to achieve early conclusion of a mutually beneficial trade agreement. The trade talks are significant following the announcement of 50% tariff on Indian goods by the Trump administration. Prime Minister Narendra Modi received birthday wishes from other global leaders too on his 75th birthday. Russian ambassador to India, Denis Alipov, took to the social media platform X to extend his wishes on his birthday and also praised Prime Minister's role in taking the decades-old friendship between New Delhi and Moscow to new heights. India's renowned sand artist and Padma Shri awardee Sudarshan Patnaik created a magnificent sand sculpture of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, accompanied by an installation of 750 lotus flowers at the Puri beach in the eastern state of Odisha, dedicated to the occasion of Prime Minister Modi's 75th birthday. The artwork carries the message Bharat ki Udaan, Modi ke saath, reflecting the nation's aspirations for unity, growth and global leadership under Prime Minister Modi's guidance. All right, our correspondent Dibyendu is joining us to get us more. Dibyendu, good morning. The Prime Minister celebrates his 75th birthday and talking of how, what mark has he left on, on every citizen of the country. Added to that, how India's positioning has, seen a transformative change on the global page. Put all this together, help us understand how important is this day, and also when we talk of India's growth story, the very idea of Atmanirbharta and self-reliance for India was coined by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Put all this together, 75 years of Prime Minister Modi and also India's success towards Atmanirbharta. Help us understand both of them together.
Well, good morning, Preeti. Of course, it is the 75th birthday of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and the global leaders are pouring in their good wishes for the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. We have already seen the US President Donald Trump wishing Prime Minister Narendra Modi on his birthday. He has created over the last, 1 decade that he has been the Prime Minister of India. He has created and he has uplifted India towards walking the path of Viksit Bharat. So therefore, he has created a mark for not just himself, but for every citizen of India at the global front. As well as also, bringing out multiple schemes that uplifts the poor, the poorest of the poor in the country. So therefore, his work is dedicated, his life and work is dedicated for the people of this country, for upliftment of of the people of this country to a greater heights. He has always thought about the poor people, how to uplift and give them empowerment. Not just the poor, but also women empowerment has been at the heart of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's governance over the last 1 decade. We have seen multiple schemes that have come out from this government that benefits women, be it the Namo Drone Didi, be it the Lakpati Didi, be it many other schemes, and the plethora of schemes that the Prime Minister has announced over the last 1 decade, talks about his vision of empowerment of the marginalized section of the society, the women of this country. So therefore, he has created a mark for himself. For example, again, Preeti, we have seen Prime Minister Narendra Modi's dedication to this country, where he almost spends every Diwali with the army jawans that are posted in very difficult circumstances, up in the heights of be it the Siachen, or in difficult terrain, or in fact in Jammu and Kashmir as well. So therefore, his dedication to the motherland has been immense. His work speaks immense about his love for the people and also his love for the country. So therefore, and also, Preeti, he always celebrates his birthday with a key aim and mission of of bringing out something new, of doing or giving something new to this country. So therefore, even this year's birthday, Prime Minister has a slew of programs lined up for the welfare of the people of this country. So therefore, we see that the standing of India also at the global front has drastically shifted. He is a much recognized leader in the global front. Whenever he has gone for any of these bilateral or multilateral summits in different parts of the world, he has been received with immense with immense respect from the global leaders when he shares stage, not just with the first world countries, but also with the global south leaders. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is respected amongst all his colleagues and all his peers in the global political community. So therefore, his vision for India, his vision for Viksit Bharat by 2047 is in line with what Prime Minister Narendra Modi dreams of making India in the next coming decade. So therefore, his work, his life is dedicated to the people of this country, and he has always been talking about how selflessly that he from a very tender age, how selflessly he has been giving all his mission and work for the upliftment of the people of this country, be it when he was with the BJP, then when he became the Chief Minister of Gujarat, and now the Prime Minister of India. He has dedicated his life and work for the upliftment of the marginalized section of the society. Preeti.
Dibendu. So these were the traits of his personality as the Prime Minister, leading a nation of more than 1.4 billion people, Dibendu. But then when we talk of him, making efforts at changing the image of India on the global page, we talked of his balanced leadership. We've talked of him, forward-looking leadership. And also, when we talk of him and his personality that sets him apart from other world leaders in times when we are facing such geopolitical challenges, when the world is witnessing such uncertainties, what is it in his personality, what is it about his leadership, which you as a journalist would evaluate that sets him apart?
Well, Preeti, we have been, interacting with the Prime Minister, his office, for a very long time now. So, therefore, what we understand about Prime Minister Narendra Modi's style of working, his image at the global front, he has always been cordial, beg your pardon, with all the global leaders that he meets, as I was also talking about, be it a multilateral or be it the bilateral summit. Remember, Preeti, when he first came to office in 2014, his during the oath taking ceremony, he had invited leaders from across the SAARC nation. He wanted to make a fresh start with all the SAARC nations when he came to power for the first time. And therefore, that decision of Prime Minister Narendra Modi inviting the SAARC leaders, and also in 2019 as well as in 2024, we have seen Prime Minister Narendra Modi's during his oath taking ceremony, his outreach to the global community, his special invitation going out to global leaders to give a message that India is willing to take the first step towards bridging all gaps and bridging friendships between all the global leaders. He has maintained cordial relationship with almost all global political leaders across the board. We have seen how President Trump has put out a tweet, in fact, on his social media, which is the Truth Social, about how Prime Minister Narendra Modi's effort on ending the Ukraine-Russia conflict. So, therefore, he has always maintained that Prime Minister is for peace, and Narendra Modi wants a peaceful global order. So, therefore, he has tried to negotiate. He had tried to be the negotiator in many global conflicts in the past as well. So, therefore, his stand as a global leader, his stand for the global South, has been extremely strong. Because remember, during the G20, which happened in India, it was the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision, and our country's vision to include the African nation as part of the G20, because they have been a significant part of the global economy. They have been a significant player in the global arena as well. So, therefore, including them in G20 was India's stand, and it was Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision to include them in the G20 groupings of countries. So, therefore, he has always been someone who talked about taking the global South together. And we have seen in the past how Prime Minister has always spoken about bringing all the leaders of the global South together, to give voice to the nations that at many a times did not have a voice on the global platform. He has emerged as one of the most powerful leaders of the global South. So, therefore, his vision of not just, as I said, making or uplifting India to a Viksit Bharat by 2047, but also to increase the stature of India in the global arena. And many would have said, Preeti, when we speak to a couple of people, when we go on foreign on foreign soils, the Indian diaspora that speaks extremely highly of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. That is the image that he has created for India at the global stage. Because many a times people say that Indians were not were seen as an underdeveloped or a developing nation by the global community. But since the last 1 decade, the amount of work that Prime Minister has done, that the stature of India has risen, towards where India will be walking the path of a developed nation. So, therefore, his vision, his outlook for India at the global platform has also been very different. And also, Preeti, he has a personal touch He gives a personal touch with all political leaders, global political leaders that he meets. I was also listening to the union ministers who had put out the stories of how Prime Minister has been extremely caring when it comes to helping them or understanding their personal needs and giving them any kind of support that the Prime Minister that the Prime Minister feels would be necessary for his cabinet and his colleagues in the Parliament as well to help him. So therefore, this is the stature that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has created of India
Not
at the
just
global
domestically,
stage.
but on the international stage as well. All right, Dibyendu, we leave it here. Thank you so much for joining us with those inputs. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi also received a phone call from Denmark's Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen. Both leaders reaffirmed their commitment to further strengthening the India-Denmark green strategic partnership across sectors such as trade, investment, innovation, energy, water management, food processing and sustainable development. Prime Minister Modi conveyed his best wishes for the success of Denmark's ongoing presidency of the Council of the European Union and non-permanent membership of the United Nations Security Council. The Prime Minister reiterated India's consistent support for peaceful resolution of the Ukraine conflict and early restoration of peace and stability. For her part, Prime Minister Frederiksen reaffirmed Denmark's strong support for the conclusion of a mutually beneficial India-EU free trade agreement at the earliest and for the success of the AI Impact Summit to be hosted by India in 2026. The European Union will unveil its new strategic vision for ties with India today that will comprise of key elements of its futuristic outlook for relations with New Delhi. While the new measures are expected to be unveiled at the India-EU annual summit that is likely to be held in India within the first few months of next year. The 13th round of FTA negotiations held in New Delhi last week with the next round in Brussels early next month. While talks on issues including customs, digital trade and dispute settlement have already been concluded, other key issues like rules of origin and market access remain unresolved. The European Union is India's biggest trade partner with bilateral trade in goods recording $135 billion in the financial year 2023-24. You're watching DD India News Hour. We're heading for a short break, but after the break, Tyler Robinson appears in court over Charlie Kirk's assassination. Prosecutors seek death penalty. Microsoft unveils $30 billion UK investment, including plans for Britain's largest supercomputer. Russian President Putin drops in unannounced at Russia's Zapad West joint military drills with Belarus.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the Economic Brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. After the break, you're watching DD India News Hour. US President Donald Trump is in Britain for an unprecedented second state visit, with the UK government rolling out a royal red carpet welcome. In a sign of pomp and pageantry to come, a guard of honor greeted the Trumps as they stepped off Air Force One at Stansted Airport near London. Trump then expressed his admiration for the British monarch. Trump's two-day visit will be complete with horse-drawn carriages and a glittering banquet inside a 1,000-year-old castle, all tailored to a president with fondness for gilded splendor. DD India's Raghav Kumar Jha gets us more.
Trump is the first US president to be invited to two state dinners by the British. His first was in 2019, which was his first term.
Well, it was a big offer for the UK to make. It's unusual to offer a second state visit to a head of state. But the UK is keen to ensure that it can get something strategic and meaningful out of this visit. The US, for a long time, has been its principal security partner, but its politics are becoming more volatile. So just like other European leaders, Starmer has to figure out how to personally deal with Trump and his approach to allies and non-allies alike, which can be volatile and changeable.
The two governments are expected to seal a trade agreement with three pillars: a new science and technology partnership to strengthen the tech sectors of both countries, cooperation in civil nuclear power, advances in defense technology cooperation. Deals worth more than $10 billion would also be announced, covering energy and technology. A transatlantic task force would also be announced to deepen cooperation between two of the world's largest financial centers. Meanwhile, ahead of Trump's UK visit, Google said on Tuesday that it would make £5 billion in new investment into Britain. Analysts say that the British government plans a deal-focused state visit of US President Donald Trump, steering clear of contentious issues like Ukraine tariffs and recognition of the Palestinian state.
We know that the UK government is keen to keep the focus of this state visit on deals, partnerships that are focused on benefits for the UK and the UK economy. They'll probably try to steer the conversation away from knottier issues like Ukraine or the UK's stated intention to potentially recognise the state of Palestine in a few weeks at the UN General Assembly.
On Wednesday, Trump and his wife Melania will be treated to a display of British royal pageantry, including a carriage tour, a state banquet, a fly past by military aircraft, and a gun salute. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer will also host Trump at his Chequers country residence on Thursday to discuss working more closely together on issues like Ukraine, and with the aim of finalizing promised lower tariff for steel and aluminium. And on Thursday night, Trump will return to Washington. The British government hopes that the soft power of the royals will appeal to Trump as it seeks tighter defense, security, and energy ties with Washington, having already secured a favorable tariff deal. Raghav Kumar Jha's report for DD India.
Microsoft on Tuesday unveiled a plan to spend $30 billion in the United Kingdom over 4 years, with half of the amount going towards cloud computing and artificial intelligence infrastructure. It is the largest of several pledges from US tech giants, totaling $42 billion. It includes plans to build Britain's largest supercomputer. Microsoft said its investment marked the largest financial commitment it had made in the United Kingdom. Microsoft employs 6,000 people in the UK, where it runs several data centers, AI research outfits, and video game studios. After a call with US President Donald Trump on Tuesday, European Union executives head Ursula von der Leyen said that the European Commission will propose speeding up the phase-out of Russian fossil imports. Von der Leyen said that she had a call with Trump on strengthening joint efforts to increase economic pressure on Russia through additional measures. Trump urged the European Union to halt its imports of Russian energy. The US is urging Europe to take a stronger role in ending the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Despite this, the US and EU still import billions in Russian energy and commodities. The European Union had planned to stop buying Russian oil and gas by 1st of January 2028. Russian President Vladimir Putin made a surprise visit to the Nizhny Novgorod region of the country to visit joint military drills with Belarus on Tuesday. Donning military attire, Putin met with top war officials at the Maleno training ground, listened to briefings from Defense Minister Andrei Belosov and his deputy, and inspected military equipment, including motorcycles, quad bikes, anti-drone weapons, and radar systems. The Russian president said that Zapad exercises were intended to rehearse elements of defending the Union state of Russia and Belarus. Putin has rarely been seen in military fatigues since the Ukraine conflict, despite his status as Supreme Commander-in-Chief of Russia's army. Tyler Robinson, the suspect in conservative activist Charlie Kirk's assassination, made an initial court appearance on Tuesday via video feed from jail. 22-year-old Robinson is accused of firing a single rifle shot from a rooftop sniper's nest that pierced Kirk's neck last Wednesday in Utah Valley University. Utah District Court Judge Tony Graff said he would appoint a defense attorney to represent Robinson before the next court hearing scheduled for September 29th. Utah prosecutors are planning to seek the death penalty for the suspect and reveal some of the evidence against him, including alleged text messages in which he appeared to confess to the crime. Utah County District Office had filed 7 counts against Tyler, including aggravated murder, obstruction of justice for disposing of evidence, and witness tampering for asking his roommate to delete texts implicating him. U.S. President Donald Trump had called for the death penalty in the case. On the day of the shooting, Robinson's roommate found a note under Robinson's keyboard that said, I quote, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and I'm going to take it." The evidence leads to the conclusion that Robinson's intentions were violent, but whether he acted alone or had external influences or accomplices is still unclear. Nepal observes the National Day of Mourning on Wednesday to honor the Gen Z protesters who died during the violent demonstrations last week. All public offices across the country will remain closed on Wednesday, and the national flag will be flown at half-mast to mark the day. The protests led to the deaths of at least 59 demonstrators, 10 prisoners and 3 policemen. The government has pledged financial support for the families of those killed in the protests. Each bereaved family will receive 1 million Nepali rupees as compensation and an additional 500,000 Nepali rupees to cover other expenses. Nepal's President Ramchandra Paudel has prorogued the ongoing session of the National Assembly with effect from Tuesday midnight. The session was ended on the recommendation of the Council of Ministers in accordance with Article 932 of the Constitution of Nepal. Meanwhile, in response to the country's challenging fiscal situation, the government has decided to cut meeting allowances for civil servants and reduce staff positions by up to 20%. All national-level workshops, seminars, trainings and interaction programs will now be held in government venues to promote cost efficiency. The secretaries of various departments also pledged to cooperate with the government bid to hold a free and fair election to the House of Representatives on the slated date, that is March 5th. Our correspondent Shweta Singh joins us from Kathmandu. Shweta, we've given a broad outline of how Nepal is trying to, come back to normalcy. But then, given the ground situation, to begin with, tell us what are you witnessing there on the ground?
We think, see, as the most government buildings burnt, government accommodation of all the ministers were completely torched. So now various infrastructure departments, the existing department is taking care of assessing the loss. After the loss is assessed, only then reconstruction can start. So you see, when you move across the valley, you will see all torched building, giving witness to the 8th and 9th September protest, how people died, and the ugliness of the event comes out. So you see, after that, even NHRC, that is Human Rights Commission here in Nepal, had ordered for investigation because many of the journalists reported gross human right violation during those 2 days of protest. So now investigation is on, and you see, yesterday even the 4 bodies of dead who died in September 9 protest were burnt in Pashupati. So after the post-mortem, they were sent for burning. So you see, investigation is there, post-mortem reports are awaited, and then finally we can know how really this happened. Though it's clear it was like extra attempt from side of police that started targeting Gen Z protesters who were trying to climb the wall of assembly. But it was a very sad situation, and reports we are waiting for here. And you see today's public holiday, not only today, but from last 4-5 days, I'm seeing in most of the Bahal and Chowk. Bahal is a place where people gather here in Nepali word. So people are gathering there, singing national anthem in the evening, making national flag on the floor with red and blue abir, and then lighting candles for peace of the people who died on 8th and 9th. It's from last 4-5 days, it's continuous process in most of the chowk in Kathmandu Valley. And all Gen Z are coming together from the houses, lighting candles, singing national anthem. So that is really a heart-touching sight to see that their peers died. And today, entire valley, entire Nepal is given public holiday to mourn for the dead. So here, all the schools and colleges are closed. People will be observing prayers at their home.
All right, so the
So this
Himalayan
is
kingdom, they're making efforts to return to normalcy. Thank you so much, Shweta, for joining us with those inputs. And you're watching DD India News Hour. We are heading for a short break, but after the break, India's IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnav says ARM's new Bengaluru facility will design 2-nanometer chips. Having remained suspended for 22 days, the pilgrimage to Mata Vaishno Devi Shrine in Jammu and Kashmir's Riyasi district resumes, much to the delight of the pilgrims. We get you a special report on how Prime Minister Narendra Modi's strategic visits across the world have widened India's global outreach multifold.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back. After the break, you're watching DD India News Hour. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is set to visit Dhar district in Madhya Pradesh on Wednesday to unveil a series of transformative initiatives aimed at empowering women, strengthening families and boosting the textile economy. In line with his commitment to health, poshan, fitness and a Swasth and Sashakt Bharat, Prime Minister will launch the Swasth Nari Sashakt Parivar and 8th Rashtriya Poshan Ma campaigns. In fact, more than 100,000 health camps will be organized till October 2nd, making this the largest ever health outreach for women and children in the country. This nationwide intensified campaign seeks to provide women-centric preventive, promotive and curative health services at the community level. Prime Minister will also transfer funds under the Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana directly into the bank accounts of eligible women across the country with a single click. Nearly 10 lakh women in the country will benefit from this. Prime Minister Modi will launch the Suman Sakhi chatbot to raise awareness on maternal and child health. The chatbot will provide timely and accurate information to pregnant women in rural and remote areas, ensuring access to essential health services. Furthering the nation's collective fight against sickle cell anemia, Prime Minister will distribute the 1 croreth sickle cell screening and counselling card for the state. As part of the Adi Karma Yogi Abhiyan, Prime Minister will launch the Adi Seva Parv for Madhya Pradesh, which will symbolize the confluence of tribal pride and spirit of nation building. In line with his 5F vision, that is farm to fiber, fiber to factory, factory to fashion and fashion to foreign, Prime Minister will inaugurate the PM Mitra Park in Dhar. This will be the first among the 7 PM Mitra Parks in the country, where work is set to begin soon. This mega textile hub is expected to revolutionize the lives of cotton-producing farmers in Malwa-Nima region. Our correspondent Aditya Srivastav joins us from Dhar. Aditya, we've just outlined the programs and the efficient measures and, in fact, the initiatives that will be inaugurated by the Prime Minister. What a better day to launch these initiatives than his birthday today itself. Get us more. What do we expect the day and how do we expect it to pan out?
Yes, Preeti, today is a big day for Madhya Pradesh. This is the second time when Prime Minister will be in Madhya Pradesh on his birthday. You remember that 3 years ago, on September 17, Prime Minister launched a historic cheetah project at Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh, and today he will also in Madhya Pradesh in a few hours. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi will lay a foundation stone of a PM Mitra Park. First, we talk about the PM Mitra Park. You know, Madhya Pradesh has long been a cotton producing India's largest leading state. Around 18 districts grows cotton across 6 lakh hectares, producing 24 lakh ton annually. Remarkably, nearly around 40% of the India's cotton will come from are coming from the Madhya Pradesh alone. So this PM Mitra Park is very important for cotton producing farmers. And if we talk about this park, around 21 to 2,150 acres area, the area of this park, huge investment proposals got Madhya Pradesh government around more than 23,000 crore investment proposals already got Madhya Pradesh government from textile sector, textile industries. All the world-class amenities will be available in this park. You know, solar plant, water treatment plant, you know, the water, light, electricity, and all housing, hostels. These are some facilities also available in this park. This PM Mitra Park concept is on 5F. You know, the farm to fiber, fiber to factory, factory to fashion, fashion to foreign. So all the value chain will be at one place. So we can say, but one thing also is that more than 3 lakh job opportunities will also give this park. One is direct job 1 lakh direct job opportunities and 2 lakh indirect job opportunities. So we can say this will be the milestone for Dhar, not only Dhar but also our Nimar, Malwa region, especially the tribal belt, because this is the tribal belt of Madhya Pradesh. Tribal youth, tribal women will also get job opportunities through this PM Mitra Park.
Aditya, we leave it here. Thank you so much for joining in with those updates from Dhar. So that was our correspondent Aditya telling us more about the important initiatives that will be launched by Prime Minister today on his visit to Madhya Pradesh. Let's turn focus to other news. Some of the world's most advanced chips powering AI servers, drones and mobile phones will be designed in India. Calling this a significant milestone in India's semiconductor journey, Electronics and Information Technology Minister Ashwini Vaishnav said that ARM's new Bengaluru unit will work on 2-nanometer chips. The minister said this after inaugurating the new office of ARM, a company that is involved in semiconductor design in Bengaluru. ARM's 2nm chip design program would make it only the second company after Renesas to hit this milestone in India.
Coming to India because the talent is here. As you know, under the semiconductor mission, one of the major targets that we have taken is to develop a very deep talent pipeline. And this is reflected in the way so many global design companies are coming to India because the talent is here. The semiconductor mission is today supporting 278 universities and institutions where the world's latest EDA tools are available to students, and the students are designing chips. 28 of those chips have already been designed. This is reflected in the confidence that the global semiconductor companies have in India's semiconductor mission, and that's why they are coming to India in such large numbers. I'm told that ARM will be designing even 2-nanometer chips here in this unit in Bengaluru.
Looking ahead, he also said that the semiconductor mission version 2.0 focus will be on equipment and the materials that go into manufacturing the chips. India rose to the 38th position among 139 economies in the World Intellectual Property Organization's Global Innovation Index 2025, a big leap from 81st in 2015. Under the visionary leadership of Prime Minister Modi, this progress reflects India's unwavering commitment to knowledge creation and sustainable growth. This remarkable journey towards a Viksit Bharat or developed India and global leadership is powered by India's innovators, entrepreneurs, scientists and young talent. Switzerland has topped the GII 2025 ranking, which evaluates the innovation performance of nearly 140 economies using approximately 80 indicators, including research and development spending, venture capital deals, high-tech exports, and intellectual property fillings. The Indian Met Department has forecast continued heavy to very heavy rainfall across several parts of the country for the next 2 to 3 days. As per the IMD, heavy to very heavy rains are expected in Uttarakhand, eastern Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, sub-Himalayan West Bengal and Sikkim for the next 2 days. Uttarakhand may receive rain on Wednesday, while there is a possibility of rain in eastern Uttar Pradesh from September 17 to 19th. Also, light to moderate rains or thunder showers may occur at most places in western Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand. IMD issued orange alert for East Uttar Pradesh and also warned for light to heavy rains in the capital Lucknow on Wednesday and Thursday. On Wednesday, the entire state of Bihar will remain cloudy and the temperature will drop. An orange alert has also been issued for heavy rain in West Champaran and Gopalganj districts. In a major announcement for devotees, the pilgrimage to Mata Vaishno Devi Shrine atop Trikuta Hills in Jammu and Kashmir's Riyasi district resumed on Wednesday, subject to favourable weather conditions, the shrine board said. The yatra had remained suspended for 22 days following a major landslide in August that damaged the route, resulting in deaths of the pilgrims. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's strategic visits worldwide in the last 11 years have widened India's global outreach multifold, further cementing Prime Minister Modi's credentials as a global statesman. Amidst raging conflicts, Prime Minister Modi has championed global stability and inclusive growth, peace and dialogue while fronting India's role as a voice of reason. As Prime Minister turns 75 today, DD India's Sakal Bhatt brings us more on Prime Minister Modi's visionary leadership, his diplomatic acumen and his personal demeanour at world stage, making India a force to reckon with.
दुनिया भारत को विश्व बंधु के रूप में देखती है तो ये हमारे लिए गर्व की बात है।
At the core of Prime Minister Modi's foreign policy doctrine and global outreach is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, meaning the world is one family. This is an all-embracing outlook envisioned by Prime Minister Modi, advocating global progress as one universal family, transcending borders, languages and ideologies. It's only under his leadership, India's long history of promoting peace globally through its foreign policy and diplomacy, contributions to peacekeeping missions, is widely recognized and respected worldwide. Thus, the writing is on the wall. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, recognized as a global statesman, advocating peace, dialogue and cooperation. Amid global conflicts, it's the Indian Prime Minister who has always championed stability, hence the emergence of India's role as a voice of reason. Under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi, India's international stature and geopolitical approach based on multi-alignment has only made India's global position robust. The hallmark of Prime Minister Modi's leadership promotes India as a bridge builder and mediator in global conflicts, emphasizing dialogue, respect for sovereignty and cooperation.
ये सम्मान केवल मेरा सम्मान नहीं है, यह 140 करोड़ भारतवासियों का सम्मान है।
Testament to this are numerous strategic state and multilateral visits Prime Minister Modi undertook, many marked by several firsts and several monumental in nature. Prime Minister Modi has had a rare distinction of addressing parliament sessions on foreign soil with global legislators listening to him in rapt attention.
ये संविधान की ही ताकत है।
In 11 years, Prime Minister Modi has addressed international parliaments 17 times, out of which he addressed the US Congress twice in 2016 and 2023, making him the only Indian Prime Minister to have done so in India's history.
When India sets benchmark in growth, It will inspire many other countries to do the same.
Something which reinforces his tall stature as global statesman. During the SCO summit, Prime Minister's first high-level India-China reset since 2020 border tensions garnered tremendous global attention. Prime Minister Modi signalled strengthening of India-Russia ties with a reaffirmed strategic partnership. This was also reflective of his balanced diplomacy, engaging China and Russia while keeping autonomy from the West, sending out a strong message to global community that India stands firm on its ground. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also been one of the few leaders who visited both Ukraine and Russia in 2024 and advocated for peace. Prime Minister Modi also is the first Indian Prime Minister to have visited Israel in July 2017 and Palestine in February 2018. In the ever-changing world order, amidst conflict-ridden and fraction-driven geopolitics, the international community now looks at India. Rather, looks up to India. India today stands out as a voice that matters for its geopolitical strength driven by this leadership and its vision at the helm. Prime Minister Modi's story of leading the nation of billions, driven by perform, reform and transform, has positioned India as global power, fronted by his international outreach, amplified by his personal demeanor. Prime Minister Modi of India continues to amplify India's voice on world stage. The message stands loud and clear. India is positioned to lead the new world order under Prime Minister Modi's leadership. The Modi way, hence the India way. With Ayushi Ahuja, Sakal Bhatt's report for DD India.
You're watching DD India News. We're heading for a short break, but after the break, relief and excitement among people of India with new GST reforms just 5 days ahead. India's Smriti Mandhana reclaims #1 spot in the ICC Women's ODI batting rankings.
Jharkhand will mesmerize you with majestic nature, rich heritage and colorful culture.
Hello. Johar. Arey, it fits perfectly.
Thank you.
Full workout ho gaya.
Ready?
Postcards from Jharkhand on National Geographic.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India News. Let's turn focus to updates from the world of business now. The GST reforms have brought a wave of relief and excitement among the general public. These changes, effective from September 22nd, are expected to significantly reduce the cost of several commonly used products. Take a look.
Due to this GST reduction, my business, for my business usage, I'm buying the cars, and this is more benefit for me due to the 10% reduction, which is reduced up to 1 lakh to 1.5 lakhs in new car vehicle. This has improved my, this has reduced my loan pressure, and monthly EMI also is getting reduced.
We are doing electronics and mobile business. Thank you, PMG. So this season will effectively more sale. We are expecting more, and thank you for this reduce the GST.
And from here, we now turn focus to sports. India's ace athlete Neeraj Chopra will begin his title defense in the men's javelin throw qualifiers at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo on Wednesday. The Indian ace will be up against Olympic champion Arshad Nadeem and the in-form Julian Weber. India also has three more names in the fray: Sachin Yadav, Rohit Yadav and Yashveer Singh. 37 javelin throwers split across two groups will battle for 12 places in Thursday's final. At the last edition in Budapest 2 years ago, Neeraj Chopra created history by becoming India's first world champion in athletics with a throw of 88.17 meters. Neeraj Chopra chases a third medal at the championships, having also won silver in the US 3 years ago. A high-level meeting regarding the construction of the SIA Centre and sanction of other sports projects in Ladakh was held in Kargil. Chaired by the Chairman and Chief Executive Councillor LAHDC Kargil, Dr. Mohammad Jafar Akhund. The meeting was attended by Executive Director, Sports Authority of India, Chandigarh, Ms. Manjushri, Administrative Secretary, Youth Services and Sports, Ladakh, Ms. Banu Prabha and other officials. Dr. Jafar emphasized on the immense sporting potential of the youth in Kargil and assured full support from LAHDC. Deliberations focused on the preparation of a detailed project report for developing sports infrastructure on the land allotted to SAI at Khelgaon in Kargil. It was decided that the foundation for some of the sanctioned projects will be laid by November this year. India's women batter Smriti Mandhana reclaimed her #1 spot in the latest ICC one-day international rankings released on Tuesday. Mandhana overtook England skipper Nat Sciver-Brunt at the top of the rankings on back of her half-century against Australia in the opening match in Chandigarh. The innings helped Mandhana gain 7 points and move 4 points ahead of her England counterpart. The Indian vice-captain had held the #1 spot in 2019 and earlier this year. The #1 spot will boost Mandhana's confidence ahead of the World Cup, which starts on 30th September. India's Asian Championships silver medalist Sarvesh Kushare achieved a 6th place finish in the final of the men's high jump event at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo on Tuesday. Kushare etched his name in history after becoming the first Indian high jumper to qualify for the final at the World Meet. Kushare earned a place in the final by sailing over the 2.25 meters rank. During the finals, he produced a best attempt of 2.28 meters, which is also his personal best jump. Hamish Kerr of New Zealand took the top position with a best attempt of 2.36 meters. Bangladesh keep their Asia Cup campaign alive with a hard-fought 8-run win over Afghanistan in Abu Dhabi on Tuesday. Bangladesh opener Tanzid Hassan Tamim set the tone with a brisk 31-ball 52 along with Saif Hassan, who scored 30, but Afghanistan bowlers clawed back to restrict Bangladesh to 154 for 5. In the chase, Afghanistan faltered despite starts from Ramanullah Gurbaz, who made 35 off 31, and Azmatullah Omarzai's quick-fire 30. They were bundled out for 146. Bangladesh's bowlers rose to the occasion with Mustafizur Rahman, who took 3 for 28, Rishabh Hussain and Nazum Ahmed leading the charge. With less than a month to go, the official tees for the milestone 20th edition of Vedanta Delhi Half Marathon were unveiled by Indian athletes Lily Das and 2023 champion Abhishek Pal in New Delhi on Tuesday. The Delhi Half Marathon 2025 will witness 40,000 plus runners from across the world come together to soak in the vibrant colors of Delhi and celebrate the spirit of running. Asian Games medalist and national record holder Gulveer Singh, Abhishek Pal and defending champion Lily Das along with Sanjeevni Jadhav will headline the elite Indian lineup. The Vedanta Delhi Half Marathon is a platform where India's best athletes compete alongside the world's best for top honours. This year's race will be flagged off from Delhi's iconic Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium on 12th of October.
क्योंकि इस साल मेरा ठीक रहा है। लास्ट ईयर तो मैं इंजरी में पूरा बीत गया था, तो इस बार जितना कंपटीशन किया हूँ सब अपना पर्सनल बेस्ट, कोई बेस्ट टाइमिंग जैसे TCS में अभी किया, कोर्स रिकॉर्ड भी किया, तो अभी इसमें कोशिश करते हैं कि और अच्छा टाइमिंग वगैरह अच्छा आ जाए। और उसके बाद जैसे बताया है गुलबीर सिंह भी है और बहुत अच्छे एथलीट हैं, तो अच्छी खासी फाइट मिलेगी देखने को, तो रेस इंटरेस्टिंग रहेगी देखने के लिए।
We've decided that because it is a participative sport and there is so much community involved, we must make this cause a movement. So when we say run for zero hunger, we say every human being, whether virtual or otherwise, who've run anywhere in the world, including who can run on race day, for every kilometer they run, we will be giving one portion pack, or we'll also be giving a meal to an animal. So for us, I think both the causes are very important, and we say from a country perspective, if we can contribute our little way, why not?
All right, with that, we end this edition of DD India News Hour. But let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can download the respective QR codes. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India News Hour.